Assalamualaikum sir.
Walaikum Assalam. Muhammad Asif,
Yes sir.
introduce yourself.
Yes sir. My name is Muhammad Asif. I hail from Faisalabad. All of my schooling has been done in Faisalabad. I have done masters in English literature from Government College University Faisalabad. After that, I have been teaching at various levels for the past 8 years. I have worked I have worked 3 jobs in school education department as a teacher. Currently, I am working as secondary school educator in Government Sheikh Islami High School, Faisalabad. Previously, I have worked as an elementary school educator, as a senior elementary school educator in the school education department. Apart from that, I have privately taught at intermediate level in a college as well.
Okay, very good. Mr. Asif,
Yes.
what is your ultimate passion?
My ultimate passion is teaching. This is the job I want to do. I like to teach, and this is what I thought I could become when I was studying. So this is my ultimate passion. I was quite inspired from my teacher, my English teacher from my school. So from then on, I thought that English was the language I could pursue.
All right, you have quite much of an experience at school level.
Yes.
Then why college career?
So I think it's a natural progression. Uh, I have You learn while doing a job. I have worked at various levels at school, so it has given me experience and confidence to teach at the higher classes. And I also have taught at intermediate level in a private college, so I have that experience, and I know I can teach at the intermediate level and BS classes.
Don't you think it's more of a materialistic option than your passion? Because you can teach. I think you can teach better at school.
Yes, it's a natural thing. You have to earn to to mm, you have to earn to spend your life. I have my own family to support, so it's a natural thing, and as a citizen of Pakistan, it's my ultimate right to strive for a better job. I am also well equipped for that job as well.
Okay, gentlemen. What would you describe as your strength?
My ultimate strength is that uh, I I do not give up. I can work. I If there are problems, there are hurdles, I don't give up easily. For example, in my early times of teaching, I had issues with classroom management, but I didn't give up. I tried, discussed with my seniors and worked on that issue and improved it. So I that is my strength, that I don't give up. I try to better myself, and I want to keep improving.
Do you think that your personality has any weaknesses?
I think yes. Every personality has a weakness. I have a weakness that I sometimes do not do things rightly at the start. Maybe I could describe myself as a bit slow starter, but I have worked on that problem, and currently I have improved a lot on that. That was my weakness, and I know that, and I have been working on it to improve myself.
You have been teaching at school level, and school teaching is mostly based on grammar.
Yes.
You teach the students basic English. What do you know about the proverbial statements?
Yes, so proverb is something in which you describe a universal truth in uh, what you call a figurative language.
All
So,
right. What is the difference between adjective phrase and adjectival clause?
adjective phrase, a phrase is a group of words that don't make a complete sense, while a clause is that thing that can stand alone as a sentence. So an adverb clause is a sentence, a whole sentence which performs the function of an adverb, while the adjective phrase is one that which a group of words are performing the work of uh, adverb.
Okay. What do you think is an ideal classroom?
An ideal classroom is in which students are learning. I prefer a classroom in which the students are engaged in the study. They are not sitting passively. So I think the more the students are involved, the more better it is. The better the classroom is. So the students will learn better and more if that classroom is.
In colleges, we normally have 100 or 150 students sometimes in one class to teach. How can you manage that much of a big class?
I think at the school level, the age of the children is children are younger, so they are not able to understand the lecture method. While in colleges, they are mature enough to understand it. So at college level, it would be preferable to lecture, give a lecture to them. So it won't be a difficult thing because at the primary level or at the middle level the students are young and you have to teach them the basics, while at college level they have learned their basics, so you have to just give them the extra knowledge, so they which is very much possible while the lecture method.
Mr. Asif, what is your comment on recent US elections?
US election. Joe Biden won the election. It was pretty much expected because the recent polls which were conducted before the election indicated that Joe Biden has a majority. I think the major failure of Donald Trump was inability to control the corona pandemic. He didn't take it seriously, so that is why I think the economy slumped. So people thought that they should change their leader.
What do you think Trump has changed in the world diplomatically? Has he raised his country's name or he has been disgraced to it?
He worked. He was working on a policy of making increasing the ties of Israel with the Muslim countries. So in which he has been quite well successful. Almost four Muslim countries have signed agreements with Israel on that. In that case, he has been successful, but the people actually of America didn't care about that. They actually were more concerned about the economy and the coronavirus pandemic, which wasn't curtailed. So that is why over, I think, more than million people have died in America.
US only. Yes. You belong to Faisalabad and all of your education has been from the same city.
Yes.
What would you like to tell about your city?
Faisalabad is a city which was constructed made a city in 1897 by the British. It was called Lailpur on the name of the governor name. So its name was changed in 1977 on the name of Shah Faisal. Then it is an industrial city. So its city has clock tower and 8 bazaars which are modeled on the flag of Union Jack of England. So it has 6 tehsils, and it is the third biggest city of Pakistan.
Okay. Your field of study is literature throughout.
Yes.
How would you define literature in general?
Yes, literature for me is the story of humans. Literature is all about humans. It's about their past. It, it tells you how we were before and what is our present condition is and what could be we become in the future. Many of the literature writings have shown that what we may become in the future. Many things that we now see being discovered or invented have been indicated in literature previously. So literature is innovative representation of the human life.
Do you think literature in any way is moralizing?
I think most of the literature is moralizing. It's didactic, no, mostly in its nature, because whenever you read literature, you learn about humans, you learn about something, so you are experiencing that case and you become a better person.
In literature, what is called Dadaism?
Sorry, I don't know about that.
Okay, have you read the philosophy of nihilism?
No.
Alright. Elegy is a type of poem.
Yes.
How would you describe it?
Elegy is a mournful poem written on the death of some person, and there are many famous elegies in English literature. Adonais, written by Shelley on the death of Keats, and In Memoriam by Tennyson on the death of his friend, and there are other examples as well.
In whole of literature, what one quotation is your favorite and by whom?
It's not actually a part of literature, but it's about one of the issues of literature. It goes like um, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's not a basically part of literature, but you can say it's a non-fiction type of quotation, but it's many of the literature writers have written about it.
Okay, what is your favorite area?
My favorite area is novel, and I like the modern novelist George Orwell.
What is a novel? Describe it.
A novel is a narrative type of story which relates to normal human life, and it tells the story of human character and human nature.
How many types of narration are present or can be detected in a novel?
There can be 3 types of narratives: the first person narrative, or the second person, or third person narrative. First person or third person narrative, and these are the two more used, because there are some novels in which the writer himself is taking the speaking from the mouth of the protagonist, is the voice of protagonist, or it can be described from a third person viewpoint, a person who is overlooking the events which are going on in the novel.
Who is an omnipresent narrator?
Omnipresent narrator is the one which is someone who doesn't interact in the novel, but he is someone who sees everything overlooks everything, and he is present everywhere. So he is third person narrative. He comes in that category, the omnipresent.
So who is the narrator who knows everything before telling? Who has everything in his mind and he tells the story, which means nothing is hidden from that narrator. How would you define that narrator? What is the kind of it?
Omnipresent, I think he would be the omnipresent
Yes.
narrator.
Okay. You said George Orwell.
Yes.
What has he written?
Basically, he has written two major novels, Animal Farm and 1984, and beside that there is collection of essays in which he describes his purpose of writing.
Will you tell something about George Orwell and his theory of writing?
Yes, he is a British writer who was born in India in 1903. He belonged to a colonial family, so then they moved to England. He was basically well, not that rich. He was very much fond of socialism, so he went to war. To attend a war in Spanish Civil War in 1938, in which he saw the brutalities of socialism, which changed his point of view about life. So after that he started writing, and he wrote the two novels, which are basically a critique of socialism and the Russian socialism in special. So he's against. He was first a founder of socialism, but when he found out the cruelties and absurdities that are being done by the Russians, so he wrote against them too. In fact, in one of the essays he mentions that his aim of writing novel is not to get fame. He doesn't want to be successful. He just want to convey the truth. And in that era, socialism was a very found movement. Everyone was offering, everyone liked it, and there were even a socializing movement, socialism movement going on in Britain and Europe. It was spreading. So at that time, to write about socialism is something, I think, very tremendous thing.
All right. In all of the literary figures, Shakespeare has been the most widely read one.
Yes.
People of all walks of life read him. Will you speak for 2 minutes on Shakespeare?
Yes, absolutely. Shakespeare is the most well-known dramatist of English literature, and I think the most brilliant thing about Shakespeare is that his dialogues and the way he tells the things. Most of his stories are retold stories. People already know the stories, but they come there to watch how it is presented, how beautifully he describes these stories. So his dialogue delivery is excellent. And second thing which makes him prominent is the women characters. In that era, before him, you see there are some figures who were writing, Marlowe and even Thomas Kidd, but there were no women characters which were excellently written at that time. So that is an innovation he produced as well. So apart from his literary, from his dramatic work, there is work of sonnets. So he also made the English sonnet, which we now call the Shakespearean sonnet. So he changed the pattern of the Petrarchian sonnet into.
What is the pattern of Shakespearean sonnet?
He changed it. There are three quatrains and a closing rhyming couplet. So there are four stanzas, three stanzas of 4 lines each, and end is 2 line rhyming. So the rhyming scheme is ABBA, and end is CD. That is how it goes.
ABB, BCC, CAC.
Yes, I got it. It was the Petrarchian sonnets.
Yeah. Thank you very much.